Ladies and gentlemen, please show your love for Sean Morris.
Something I haven't done in a long time. Oh, the last time we saw you, you looked so much older. Your famous blue raincoat was torn at the shoulder. You'd been to the station to meet every train. You came home without Lily Marley. You treated my woman to a flake of your life. When she came back, she was nobody's wife. Well, I see you there with a rose in your teeth. One more thin gypsy thief. Well, I see Jane's awake. She sends her regards. Pubic hair. One of the more vivid memories I have is of when Laura shut me down at a dirty haiku battle. I do not remember the haiku specifically, but I know the topic was pubic hair, and the last two syllables she said was "you bitch," and the room exploded, and I was done. I think I did like an 8 Mile, but I wasn't Eminem. I was the guy that choked and ran off. So I'm like, I'm done. I met Laura as first a comedian, and I was like, oh great, she's brilliant and raunchy. That's right up my alley. And then I heard her poetry, and I'm like, well, I'm out of here because I can't compete with this. She keep you honest, intimidating, and also very, very loving and very generous. And I'm honored to share her work and part of a work that literally inspired me. She went up one night and performed a piece, and she said, this is called White Girl Problems. And I was like, I already love it. It's already good. So here's the first half of something I wrote that's also called White Girl Problems that was directly inspired by that. Do I need the microphone? No. I didn't think so. Revolting Martian spiders webcast dispersions on my aspirations to lead this bastard nation in masturbation, standing in the way of my actualization as a man. I'm Cameron Diaz, trying to escape from John Malcatraz. I'm Lester Burnham's daughter, saving up for a boob job. I'm Bob Harris's youngest groupie. I am Jack's sexual ambiguity. What do Charlotte, Lottie, and Janie have in common? Why do I associate so strongly with these works of fiction walking their dogs in contradiction? Are they who I want to be with, or are they what I want to be? They are embarrassing and embarrassed, shackled by deadbeat parents and dead-end marriages. Scared to share their opinions, they are misguided and indecisive. But if they find the right guys, then their futures will have guidance. This does not make them subservient. They're simply searching for the perfect person who will render them impervious to any more inner turmoil. Just one person to sense their feminine longing, make them believe in their own beauty, and lavish them with attention. Just one pair of eyes satisfies. One set of lips justifies their entire existence. Sounds nice, doesn't it? What can I tell you, my brother, my killer? What can I possibly say? I guess that I miss you, I guess I forgive you, I'm glad you stood in my way. If you ever come by here, for Jane or for me, your enemy is sleeping, and his woman is free. Yes, thanks for the trouble you took from her eyes. I thought it was there for good. so I never tried. I actually hadn't seen Lara for 8 years because I was in, many of those years I was in the bottom of my life. Was kind of boring. Let's not go there. But she was one of the last people to see me in Los Angeles before I went off on my quasi-dark, mostly boring journey. And when Sam and Lara were there, well, before that, we used to always talk about our pipe dreams of being the anarchist, rich and famous, crazy, anti-poet, MC, performing, comedian, and whatnot. And they would always say to me, you're gonna be the one that's gonna be famous first, and we're gonna ride your coattails. Well, I have to say, I'm going to push that responsibility off to Lara, and I want to be a part of her being the one that is the big one, and we ride off her coattails. I'm very honored to read this poem called How to Justify the Stacks of Notebooks. I have lots of stacks of notebooks as well, so I was already like, okay. She could do that with a title. I'm like, I already love this piece and I haven't read it yet. Because they already fill a whole box, the pack and tape from the last moves cut. But don't think that I was brave enough to look through every single one. Some of the covers are enough to make the burial instinct kick in. Find old homework assignments, paperbacks with penciled in $2 price tags, anything to wall them up like some old begrudged traitor, a love child to ruin a political career. Because the grocery and to-do lists, the drunken diagrams of unfulfilled plans, those were enough to peg this as a coping mechanism. There was this one time when I went to the store and bought nothing but whiskey and adult diapers. True story. Don't worry, one of them wasn't for me. There were these few dozen times on public transit and sidewalks when the maniac's monologue seemed more evocative than anything I've ever come up with. It's unsettling to hear a not yet slurred voice with that stink of guarana malt liquor and bullet cans on 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday, when it clearly enunciates a Bible verse, almost always from Romans, declares that we just want to go back to our submarines, repeating a refrain. Above and beyond the call of normality. Above and beyond the call of normality. Dude, I have no idea what that means, but I'll steal it anyway. Because I say and think things that make no sense at all. Some half-understood science, some observational humor taken far too seriously. Some of that old schoolgirl journaling, taking a battered squeegee to my own Jahari window. My sanity depends on knowing metaphors are metaphors, so I collect them like a taxidermist terrified of death, like a celibate porn aficionado, like an agoraphobic flash mob choreographer. I also collect similes. So here's my advice for the maniacs. Stop torturing the numbers. Stop sacrificing the good for the perfect, the necessary for the good. This is the strained muscle in a giraffe snack. This is an epic in a supermarket receipt. It is fleeting for all the right reasons. Jane came by with a lock of your hair. She said that you gave it to her that night that you planned to go clear. Did you ever go clear?